Do you know who owns your mortgage, and should you care? Well, the company that sends you the mortgage statement isn't necessarily the lender who owns your mortgage. Real estate attorney Chae duPont, partner at the law firm of Morris duPont, is here now with more on this. All right, so what is the difference between a mortgage servicer and a mortgage lender, Chae?
A mortgage servicer is the company that services the mortgage on behalf of the investor that actually owns the mortgage. So when you get a mortgage statement, whether it's from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, Greentree, PNC, these are companies that are acting as the servicing company on behalf of the investor. So they're collecting the payment, they're charging the late fees, they're handling the escrow, and then they are sending the money to the investor that owns the note. And this is important to you because if you want to apply for any assistance, it's important that you know who your lender is.
Interesting. So if I get my mortgage statement from Wells Fargo isn't necessarily my mortgage lender?
No.
This is shocking news to me.
It is shocking news to a lot of people. And another thing that's interesting is those banks, those brick and mortar banks, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they have nothing to do with the mortgage servicing company by the same name. So when people say, well, but I took my mortgage payment to Wells Fargo and I didn't get it credited, I'm like, well, then you could have just as easily taken it to a Kinko's and had the same result, because all they're doing is sending it to the right company.
So should I be calling the bank and asking who my lender is,
yes,
in fact?
Absolutely. You should be contacting the servicing company and asking them who actually owns my note.
Interesting.
And they have to tell you who actually owns your note.
All right, so let's say this. Say you're about to go into foreclosure. Can your servicer actually foreclose you?
Good question. Oh, you've got some good ones today. The answer is unclear because case law goes on both sides. Some courts say that the servicing company can be the named plaintiff and the defendant, and other courts have said, no, it has to be the actual owner of the note, not just the possessor of the note. So it gets a little technical.
So when does a lender, or does a lender always use a servicer? Or do you sometimes have a lender actually service your loan?
Bank of America, as an example, services about 10 to 15% of their own loans. So
that's a small percentage.
It's very small, and it's constantly fluctuating. So you don't know. Another thing that's important is, what if your loan is backed by Fannie or Freddie? You wouldn't know unless you either contacted your lender, your servicer, and asked them, is this a Fannie or a Freddie loan? Or there's a website you can go to called knowyouroptions.com, and you can input your information, your name, your address, the last 4 digits of your social. It's that simple.
Right.
You don't even need your account number, and it will tell you whether or not Fannie or Freddie owns your note and when they purchased it.
There's also a real estate attorney that I know who could probably help you sort all this out too. Oh, and she's right in front of me. Hey!
Hey!
Absolutely, because it can be very confusing, huh?
And I do that. In the free consultations, I very often check for people.
Well, let's tell them how to get one. Chae
Let's
duPont,
do that.
yeah, thanks so much. And contact the law firm of Morris duPont, and you can schedule a free consultation to discuss any of these issues you're facing with your mortgage, with your property. And you can call the number on your screen right now. It's 1-800-974-2712. Call that number right now, and you can learn more about this by visiting the website homemortgagelaw.com. All right, Chae, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Daytime will be right back.